Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. I'm almost 100% recovered, still a bit sicklish, but no more fever. A voice is coming back, coughing is subsiding, so hopefully starting next week I'll be 100%. I still have some more business travels, not next week, but the week after, and then in October. And then I should stabilize finally after so much business traveling. It's good to actually stay at home. By the way, we are very close to 500 subscribers, about 3 away. And also, this is the video number 200. So thank you very much for all the patience of everyone involved. And if you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that a like and subscribe. It greatly supports the channel. So thank you very much. Now, I wanted to say, on Sundays, I typically try to look at something a bit more macro. You may have noticed it. So today I would like to discuss two topics. One will be CBDC, and number two, it's the evolution of crypto as institutional money comes into it. Now, CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are actually quite simple. They are not going to improve our money system. They are not going to improve anything in our life. It will give what governments like the most, which is control. This is already rolling out in China. Why is this so important? Maybe if you go to a protest or if you go to an aggregation of someone who is called how to say this in a polite way, someone that is considered a hate spreader, if you will, someone who basically current administrations don't like, let's say conservative speakers in American universities, or Jordan Peterson, or people of that sort. By having a CBDC, if you go to some convention, to some gatherings of those undesirable people, maybe they will freeze your account. Who knows? Because they need to protect you, right? From yourself. Maybe if you do things that they don't like buying a gasoline car, maybe you're gonna pay extra money. If you do things that they consider nice, like stop eating meat, maybe you get some discounts or some extra credits. Who knows? But that's the point. The point of the CBDC will be to control the population in masses and to give that control to the government. Then you only need some suspicious of corruption, some suspicious of a crime, and that's a good excuse to completely freeze the accounts of someone. That is basically the idea. Is it doesn't matter if you're from which party, all governments, or from which country, all governments have the same goal, which is control. That's it. But CBDC will be resisted in certain countries by certain people, which means, this is my conspiracy theory hat a little bit, is that some big event is going to happen in which a crisis will be so severe that it needs to make people desperate enough for them to shut down their logical thinking and just go ahead with whatever is proposed. And what you need to realize is that over the decades, we have been losing freedoms a tiny bit at a time. We've been taxed increasingly higher, but a little bit at a time as well. It's the principle of the boiling frog or the boiling lobster. So you cannot just throw the lobster into boiling water or the frog into boiling water. No, you need to throw them into tepid water and then slowly raise the temperature. I always give this example because it tells you everything you should know. The US became independent from Great Britain, and they fought a war for the independence because Britain was charging 25% taxes to the US. 25%. Now, most people nowadays would dream about having 25%. So how is this possible? What happened? Because when it was 25%, we were willing to fight wars, and now it's above 50% if you include state, local, and federal to certain income brackets. Nobody's fighting. So what happens? Yeah, because you increase it slightly at the time. In case people don't remember or don't know, the income tax, something that all of us pay, well, as long as you're working, was created as a temporary tax to win World War II. Now, last time I checked, World War II ended in 1945. It's 2023, and we are still paying, not only are we paying the income tax, we are paying more of it, and more of it, and more of it. So, but this just shows you how things change over long periods of time. You see, if they would have come out with, oh yeah, now everybody pays 50% tax from one year to the other, that will never fly. But if you do it in a long time frame, if you do it in a very long time period, people will fall for this kind of crap. Now, what it's needed, in my opinion, you need a big, as I just said, you need a big event, some big crisis, and somehow the solution will be the implementation of a CBDC. Now, the rumors are that in the beginning it will be purely a payment ledger, but you know how these things go. Again, same principle. You start like this and you quickly grow like that. So this is the situation where we are, and unfortunately the only way out of it is that I see, or some protection around it, is fortunately in the world there's something called regulation arbitrage, which means that different countries have different regulations and different regulatory requirements. So if you value things like privacy, freedom, things like that, what I'm looking at is countries that seem to want to prevail that and to keep that at least longer than the existing ones. And that's what I need to work with. What can I do? Only if I found my own country, it's very difficult for me to do anything. So what I'm looking at is to explore some regulatory arbitrages across geographies and see what can be achieved. But that's about it. Other things are assets which do not get influenced by CBDCs. Talking about if you think about physical commodities, namely precious metals, although I don't like them that much. And the second option will be eventually crypto. Now, Tornado Cash, which was the privacy tool, was banned, but I do believe that the Ethereum founder, Vitalik, is looking at an alternative product, which makes perfect sense, since if you look at any of these organizations, UN, you name it, privacy is always marked as a human right. So how can we have privacy if there's a central body who can look at every single transaction that every single citizen has made, present, past, and future, plus location? There's no privacy then. It's very simple. So crypto may play a role in that. To be seen. It's difficult at this stage to say, but any kind of pockets of fighting that I can find, I think they are welcome, and I do think there's something to look at. Now, I wanted to point out something for those who believe that crypto will disappear and blockchain will disappear. You're starting to see now increasingly more, and some transactions with European companies are already starting to happen, is that some companies are starting to issue bonds more regularly on the blockchain, either a bank's own blockchain or even through Ethereum, Polygon, etc. Smaller transactions as they test the waters, but I do believe the tokenization of securities and deploying them on the blockchain will become more prevalent going forward. And what does that actually mean? Well, that means more money in the space, more money in the ecosystem. A higher tide lifts all boats. Now, is that good in the long term to have all this big money like BlackRock, etc., involved in this? No, but I'm not concerned so much now for the next 25 years because unfortunately, every time you try to predict those kind of things, you fall flat on your face. But it should help in the next super cycle. Now, and I do hope, if I play my cards right, I don't need any more cycles. See what I mean? But in any case, something to keep an eye for, you see increasingly more companies issuing bonds on the blockchain directly. So I'm sorry, Peter Schiff, no, blockchain and crypto will not go away. So you'll need to endure this for a little bit longer. But will all this high money, if you will, present in the ecosystem, is it a net positive or a net negative? I would say in the short term positive, in the long term most likely negative. Just a word of caution: be careful with the narratives around CBDCs in particular, because they're going to be designed to trick you into believe that that's some sort of a solution, that there's nothing wrong with it, and only good things can come out of it. If you want to interpret how something is in actuality versus the theory, particularly when it comes from government or quasi-government institutions, check the meaning they are giving to it. Let's say, this will help with inflation, whatever. This will help reduce inflation. That means that it will help increase it. Okay? That's all it means. So whatever they say, take the opposite and you're very close to the truth. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm still going to make just one video today, so this one will be the only video of today, but hopefully after tomorrow I can resume at least a couple of videos per day. So, and by the way, I'm still seeing for a date for a live stream next week, so let me come back on that one. And thank you very much, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.